Sure.
How much would you love to see us get back into the LCS? Would that just be? Would you just do a backflip in the office?
Man, if we did, I would do a backflip in the office. If we did, I would do more than a backflip in the office, obviously.
What is up, everyone? I'm Jay. Welcome to Q Up, Team Envy's official podcast, where we take you inside the world of gaming and esports with the people who know best.
If it's your first time listening, I'm Justin Rojas, and we upload the audio version on podcast services every Mondays and the video version on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TeamEnvy.
We got one guest today, Mr. You Love to See It himself, Marcus Lovejoy, also known by Elumnite?
Yes.
Illuminati?
Illuminite.
Is that a play on Illuminati?
No, definitely not. But it has a lot to do with alumni, like in the college, the alumni graduates.
Kanye West graduation.
Yeah,
album.
and like the moon and stars and stuff like that,
Interesting.
Kind of correlates
So
to
alumni would illuminate and
Yeah.
luminous.
Yeah.
So you got the glow, is what you're saying.
I mean, some sort of a glow, but I just like the whole aspect of the stars and moon. I don't know why. It's just something that I'm
astrological.
into. Okay. My League of Legends account is pure moonlight. So
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we played together before. We played some Arrow.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome, man. Thanks for joining us. If you don't know Mr. Marcus, he is currently the manager, I want to get it right, team manager of the Call of Duty, Team Envy Call of Duty.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Cool. But you're also a former pro Halo player.
Yes, I used to play Halo professionally from 2008 to about roughly 2015 to 2016.
Okay.
It was an incredible journey. I had strong passion for Halo 2 and Halo 3, and I kind of I became obsessed with it. And,
Man, he's not lying. I'm going to go into story time right now. We were down at, I don't know if it was PAX.
It was TwitchCon.
TwitchCon? Maybe
it had to have been
TwitchCon?
TwitchCon.
We were
Story
somewhere,
time.
and we went to a one of the late night parties, and they had retro gaming going on, and they had Halo 2.
Yeah, they had
Halo 2 set up.
And he just made a beeline
And
for it.
instantly right to it, and then just started calling out everybody in the venue. He was just like,
Wildin'.
who's gonna play me? Who thinks they're good at Halo?
Whoa.
Step up. Who wants
Whoa.
smoke?
Okay, so hold on. Let me cut the story because first I wanted to dive into it, but then people were still kind of getting into the party. So we kind of went around and looked around for a bit, and then the lights were dimmer. There was more people. There was more saturation of people in there. And then I saw people actually playing. And then I went up to it and I was just just started challenging people, and beating them severely, really badly. That right there made my night. It didn't matter. I had a glass of wine.
I was about to say, was there alcohol?
There was alcohol. I had my wine and H2, and I was straight. I was just dominating people.
So you're sipping on wine and destroying kids in Halo at
Yeah.
a PAX party?
TwitchCon.
party?
Yeah,
TwitchCon
yeah.
party, and he was laughing. It was he would go I don't know, on his 12 streak, whatever, and look at the guy and then laugh and then get
That's
back
BM.
to playing.
BM,
It's a
sir.
little
That's
BM.
not classy at all.
You gotta get those. I've been waiting for a time like that to where no one knows, and I just walk up and there's just Halo 2 conveniently there,
You're just untouchable.
and
You're that guy.
I get to be the guy that I want to be.
I started becoming the hype man, going around and who thinks they can take this
Step
guy
up.
down? Yeah,
Step up and face Marcus Lovejoy.
Yeah, it was
Best of 3.
I felt pretty good about myself for sure.
It was pretty.
That's me
messed
in
up.
Super Smash Bros. Here at Envy.
Yeah.
Any pro, Nifty, any of them can get on. All takers, all
Yeah,
takers,
I
man.
used
got 'em.
to I played Melee a lot, not so much the latest Smash. But Melee would probably be more my forte if I were to play.
Jumping back to Halo, though, how did you get into the scene? That's something the fans are generally curious about. Everybody's trying to make their way.
Yeah, so I followed MLG early 20 I want to say 2003, 2004. They had Halo 50Ks. And that was Halo 1 on the Xbox, original Xbox. And then I just kind of got inspired, and I was already playing Halo. And then Halo 2 came out, and then there was actually a tournament that I could go to, and in Dallas actually. I flew out to Dallas, my first tournament, and was playing with just a couple of my friends. We didn't do that well, but individually, I felt like I was, farther along. And then Orlando.
Did you have to pay your own way?
Yeah, early I did because I was an amateur player. I wasn't sponsored, and back then, like 2007, there you had to be winning or second to even be sponsored back then. So I had to pay my own way, and then second event was Orlando. I placed like 22nd in Pro FFA. I made like Pro bracket in fours, and then I won like a 1v1 tournament with Boost Mobile, and then I got sponsored by Boost Mobile my second event. And
you had that damn sword, didn't you? What's that? I forget the sword because I stopped at like Halo 2. I checked out. But
The sword was
what's it called? The booster?
It's the plasma sword.
Plasma.
Yeah, the plasma sword. Yeah.
You were just abusing that, weren't you?
Yeah, because I had to go against there was a record by Little Poison. He was a lot of hardcore fans will know who he is. He was like one of the youngest pros in Halo, like at the age of like 6 or something like that.
Wait. 6
or 7, yeah.
Wait,
he was. Yeah,
I was waiting for the teen to drop, like 16.
So this kid's walking in with his mom, like holding her hand.
His dad, and he was
and then
good. He was bullying kids. He was bullying kids for sure. But
I'm just trying to imagine that, like visually.
He's just a little kid, like in Halo, just like he would get the sword and like he would outplay people.
Would he like smack talk?
He was generally nice, but
what was this kid's name?
Victor DeLeon III, I think. Victor, yeah.
Does he still play?
I'm not sure if he still plays, but he goes under Little Poison. You guys would have look him up, Little Poison.
I feel like I've heard of this kid.
Definitely somebody.
Yes, I have seen this kid before. I just looked him up, and I've definitely seen this kid.
Yeah. So I got sponsored by Boost Mobile, and I had a pretty successful second event, and then went to Vegas, and then placed top 16. Became like officially semi-pro, and then when Halo 3 came out, that's when I finally was able to take it to that next level and sign a contract with MLG.
Did you ever feel like, was there ever a time where you wanted to give up? You just felt like, man, like I can't break through.
I don't know. Like there was no thinking that I wasn't going to be able to become a professional player. The only thing that I regret was not focusing on winning instead of becoming a professional player. I think I set myself a little too short in my goals in terms of just becoming a professional Halo player.
So what's the difference? Give me a little bit more of a breakdown of that. I mean, people when they think about going into professional sports, you just want to become the best and do as best as you can do. So what's the difference between focusing on winning and focusing on being a player?
Yeah, it's just being a player. You're just focusing on like just you, I guess, as an individual, but winning like correlates to like how do you help your teammates improve off of your play to win for each other type of thing, and help everyone else like achieve the same goal that you have. Whereas me, I was just focusing on how I was perceived in the game, how well I did and stuff like that. And a lot of things were hindered, like my communication. I didn't really talk very much like in game. I was more of a slayer, and then I had to learn a whole bunch of other things later on down the road. As my development, increased and whatnot. But I won local tournaments in Atlanta and, won locally. But in the terms of like grand, scale, bigger tournaments, those were always something that I could just never really get kind of close to. Depending on the teammates, though, I could have made some better team choices as well.
That's interesting. Was it mostly, I'm curious to know the breakdown when it comes to, were you competing mostly in person or were there online tournaments as well? And how often were you competing online versus actually having to travel?
Yeah, there were a lot of online qualifying tournaments, or like a lot of like tournaments that give you sort of points to help seed you into, land-based tournaments like there are now. But I would say most of my stuff was in person. Most of the major events, you had to actually be there.
I would imagine so, because this was what, early 2000s?
Early, yeah. You needed
so like nobody had like 500 meg internet at that time.
Yeah,
that was like unheard of. So
internet wasn't as dependable. You know, we were all playing. I was playing on DSL connection back in Halo 3. Like I barely had a point of upload. Maybe I had like 2 download. So it was a different realm for sure. You had to be anywhere in person to actually make an impact on what you were trying to do in terms of your career, pursuing professional gaming at that point.
And now you've made the jump to manager, which is a kind of a different swing.
It is.
What sparked that?
Well, first, I wanted to try to take a step back in the direction where Halo was at the time, and that was early 2016. And I didn't see too much of a continuing future for me competing professionally. There was a lot of newer talent coming onto the scene that didn't really know me like that. I didn't really know them. They knew that I was a former pro player, but newer people always have their cliques and stuff like that, like their tight-knit groups. And, I just decided to transition to coaching, and then now I'm here managing. And it's because I understand a lot of the player perspective and the environment that they're living in now, because I've grown up in that environment, but now we have saturated things like media obligations that players have to do, and a lot of new stuff that like these top players aren't used to.
But mentally, you can put yourself in their shoes, because a lot of times I can't even do that.
Yeah,
there's just so much going on and so much being thrown at them.
Yeah,
a lot of the times.
Translating it is really important to these guys, and timing, and when they're in that mode of gaming and trying to prepare for a tournament and whatnot, it's you have to really find that good time to get them out of that element to focus on the other things that they need to focus on too.
Because you want to keep that mental right.
Yeah,
right. And you've been there firsthand, so you can relate.
Yeah.
I mean, so you're saying that you focused on previously, which was a mistake in your opinion, on being a player, or being just trying to increase your game. So when you see that happening with guys nowadays, like, what do you do to get them to think about it's not just about their performance, it's about the team and what they can do to win?
Yeah, I mean, every player's viewpoint is so different from one or the other. Like, some players have strong opinions on that the way that they're doing things is the way that they need to be doing it. And it's just them being selfless and wanting to be the best teammate they possibly can be, to win. That's it. Like, being a teammate that will do whatever your teammates need you to do. Understand from their perspective that maybe I'm not doing the right thing. You know what I mean? Like, all the time. Like trying something else, for a change.
That's interesting. So for someone like Huke, we're going to get to the correct pronunciation in a second. But for that guy, like, I see the motivation is it's not the money, it's not the fame. It's literally winning a championship. Yeah. You see different motivations across different teams. Like, some people are just there because they know I'm good at this. I can play video games for a living. I can make a good living off of that. And I'm fine. I could never win a championship. Or do you see everybody just super hungry to win that title and whatever?
I see a lot of people hungry. Everyone has different paths and different methods. Huke's, Kyler's, his method is, his work ethic has been crazy. Like, I've been with him since he was 16 years old. He can pick up any game and, become, amazing at it. Like, but for COD, like, it's inevitable. He's gonna win. It's just a matter of when and who's on the team at that point in time. All he does is game. All he does is want to get better. Like, he's humble. He's quiet. He's not cocky. He's selfless. I have nothing but good things to say about him, because I've seen him develop as a person, not just a professional gamer, but as a, human being as well, and it's amazing to be a part of, the legacy, that we're seeing with him. And, I hope to, be with him, working with him in the future for sure, continuing on.
Absolutely.
So would you say that Huke is the ideal teammate?
I would say so. I would say he's an ideal teammate. He's somebody who can do anything, like whatever you ask him to do. Constructive criticism, he'll take it. If you say you made a bad play, he'll be like, yeah, you're right. Like, if he didn't feel like he performed to his standards, he's going to be upset. Like, even after London, like, he knows he didn't play like how he felt like he should have played, for sure. And regardless of us placing top 4, like that is a disappointment for him because he understands that if he would have played to the levels that he felt like he would have, his expectations,
they're in the finals.
Most likely
No
we're
question.
probably playing in the finals for sure. You know what I mean? So with, him as a player, his mental teammate, I would want to be teaming with him.
And he's
that's for
so young. How old is that dude?
He's 19.
19 years old, man.
Yeah. Yep.
The young god.
And I mean, he had to be in Halo. He couldn't get into COD before, right? So he was on our Halo team right back in the day because of the age restriction.
Yep.
So
yeah, and he played Halo, and it was crazy to see because I was kind of competing against him when I was trying to, maybe see if I could still kind of compete.
See if you still had it.
Yeah, and he
How'd that go?
It was fine. I'm good at Halo 5. Like I could have.
Be
competed.
honest, you went up against Huke though.
I mean, like not in like an actual like real tournament, but like in some exhibition type stuff. Like we probably played against each other, and it was at the beginning. He was playing with Temp and Boo Boo Doo Boo and stuff like that.
And what did that score look like?
I think they beat my team in this breakout game, which is like a SWAT type of mode early in Halo 5. It was like, one life, you're dead type of thing. So it was really even based kind of, like your equivalent to search and destroy, but Halo. So you know what I mean? Like, but I already knew like from playing him and seeing him play, like he was going to be something. And
you knew he was something special.
Oh yeah. You can tell after being a professional player and transitioning to coach and seeing the development for players and their tendencies and their habits and to managing, you start to really be able to see who's got it, who has that knack, who has that work ethic.
Here's a question I have. Is that something he inherently has had, or is that something that's been grown and developed because his family's been really supportive? I know
he's been nourished.
He's got an interesting kind of backstory of how he started playing, and he didn't even really want to do it initially, right? So
Keenan, his brother that works with us as well, went out of his way to work and pay for Kyler's plane tickets to go to these tournaments because he knew that Kyler had the talent. There was talent involved. Obviously, you have to practice and keep increasing your skill overall, but he had a base talent that was so obvious to Keenan that we need to get you going to these tournaments.
And he had to explain it to the parents, right? Because the parents just don't understand.
Yeah, parents never really understand any of that stuff because they don't have enough information on it most times, and it just seems as like a distraction to all the other things that they should be focusing on. Your personal development skills, your schooling.
It doesn't seem like a legitimate career path.
It doesn't, and now that
for
there's
the older generation,
now that there's more ambassadors and examples and information out there, the opposite is obvious. There are career paths, but you just need to just watch over it and monitor it and inform yourself about it.
Well, now the parents, they're
biggest
fans. They're on that
all
train.
about it.
They're all about it now.
Yeah,
right?
they are.
Shout out Daddy Huke, man. I can't do that dude. Met him in Vegas. Awesome dude. He actually explained the Huke as I want to say he said Huke because it came from like Hookie or something, like a child, like
Hook the Duke.
A child. Yeah, is that what it was? Like
Hook
a child
the
nickname?
Duke. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where it came from. And then I got to kick it with him here at CWL Dallas, which was awesome. We may have gone out and tied a couple back at the watering hole.
Definitely.
It was a good time. He's good peoples.
Definitely gonna have some like good times with Kyler's dad. He's a trip. He's just a big kid, you know what I mean?
And he was he's a rocket engineer, I want to say. I don't want to say it wrong, but I'm pretty sure he told me he's a rocket engineer.
Yeah.
I was like, you're a rocket scientist?
Yeah, he's a rocket scientist.
No, of course you didn't want your kid playing video games for a living. It makes total sense. But now he's all about it. So.
Yeah, so back to what Justin was saying about Kyler's, development and his talent and the Halo. Like him having to play Halo in that period of time, I've never seen someone come from COD, even though he had played a little Halo 3 or whatever. He was more of a COD player, obviously. He had already had some great placings before he had to stop. And just seeing him play Halo, come from COD to play Halo and just be as dominant, as an individual and actually win some tournaments, and do really well in Halo was astonishing. Like a lot of people have never seen anything like that. We've seen Halo players go everywhere else and be successful, even now with even Fortnite and other games. But to see COD players come over to Halo, it's not, the percentage of success rate isn't historically been that high.
So you got to see CWL London from like the overseeing the team perspective. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, so the travel went well. We did have a little setbacks in terms of like delays, but that happens. Getting there to the event, everybody adjusted, decently well to the time difference. Location wasn't bad. Everybody was fine. Everybody, like, mood wise, chemistry, like vibes.
How many days in advance did you guys get out there before the actual play started?
We had got out there about at least 3 days before actual play, so
Nice.
we had ample time to get acclimated with the area.
Well, it's not even just the area. I mean, you guys had new people on the team.
New people,
So
yeah.
it was a lot of new for this.
It was a lot of new, but with the people that we've added, personality-wise, I already knew it wasn't going to be that hard for everyone to kind of mesh and be able to chill and, start working on the important things, teamwork, chemistry, and all that stuff. Like, Decimate has already been on the team for World War II. Pharaoh, Maurice, he's just hungry, ready to play. He was on the bench for 100T for a little bit. And, now they're both getting an opportunity to show, what they have and, keep, climbing the ladder and teaming with Huke and Aches and Silly, and Bevels as our coach. We just, we have the right pieces. We have a lot of potential. Our ceiling's high. We have Pro League coming up in a couple of weeks. The possibilities are endless, obviously, but London was, a great turnout for how quickly of a turnaround roster-wise, we were in situation-wise.
So what's the X factor? What's going to take this team from finishing third and fourth, which is respectable, to what we really want, which is that first place finish?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think a lot of it has to do with everyone playing the way they need to play all at the same time.
So being on the same page.
Yeah,
keeping that
like we
consistent.
saw like Saturday, we did really well, through our losers bracket run. Sunday, we started off really well, and to a team that, in my opinion, we have been beating all year. We should have been able to beat them on Sunday as well. Like, absolutely. 100%.
Who was this again? This was
United.
United.
Yeah. No, they're a great team.
They're the crowd favorites, though, right?
I feel like the crowd favorite was just random. Like, whoever the crowd just felt like they wanted to root for.
That crowd was wild. They had
That
beach
crowd-
balls going.
I lost
They had-
full. I lost full because it was active. I'm watching our match, but actively like the ball is like flying in the air, hitting people while we're
It's a
what
rock
I mean?
concert.
Yeah, and they were savages out there. Like, that crowd was crazy. Like, I've not been a part of an esports crowd like that before. Like, they had all their chants. They were all synchronized. They were ruthless too.
What was their feeling towards Envy when Envy was
honestly they had more feelings towards Aches. They were calling Aches a wanker.
playing? I heard the X is a wanker chant.
Yeah,
I did.
but
hear that.
Aches, I mean, like, that doesn't really affect him. Like, Pat, like, he's been through it all. He's heard everything there is.
I mean, he encourages it and instigates it a lot of the time.
Oh
too,
yeah,
so.
yeah. He's got a thick skin though for it, so it doesn't really. It's not going to phase him like it would another player who is less experienced. I guess
Yeah.
hasn't been around as long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did the nah, goodbye, they did all that to us, and it was just like, I was salty. I'm not even gonna lie.
Do you think that's a UK thing because of soccer, or football
Absolutely
out there?
Absolutely. Yeah, they were sports fans as well as esports fans for sure.
Yeah.
They were both.
They're a little bit of both.
They
then,
were
eh?
both. They were both. Just like, I mean, like at our Dallas event, I feel, like.
Oh, that was something special. The El Clasico to
Yeah.
see Envy and Optic go up against each other. That was a real treat.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
The Green Wall, they
don't disappoint.
They support. They come out in
Yeah.
full force.
Yeah.
We got the dub though.
They Green Wall, I mean, Optic, they had a huge amount of fans out in London, I guess. Like, the crowd was chanting for Optic, and I was like, whoa. I was was like, I knew they had like, solid, fan base, but like out here in like London, I was just like, dang.
We got some MB fans in London or what?
We had some guys in some jerseys and, out there, we made sure to, holla at them, and they were supporting us. We had some hardcore guys against, with us against when we played Gen G. That was a big matchup, and, we needed those guys. So they helped us.
Right on. What do you think it's going to take to get, you come from a Halo background,
Mm-hmm.
what's it going to take to get Halo relevant again in the esports scene, in your opinion?
The first major thing is having it accessible to a wide range of people. And what I mean by that is obviously adding it onto PC and, not just limited to console, Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest hurdle that I see. That is the first major step into getting Halo back to where it needs to be. A lot of the other past things kind of hindered it. And now, finally, I feel like maybe if they do that, we'll see some positives, hopefully.
Mechanically speaking, if you compare playing Halo to COD, which one do you think is in your opinion the superior esport?
I'm biased, obviously, so
I had a feeling.
I got to go with Halo. I feel like you shoot people for longer, so it just more skill involves with the longer you have to shoot a person.
So it's the
to take them
tracking
down.
on the hit mark, right? Got to keep it on them longer.
Yeah, the
So it's
tracking.
an actual...
But after watching so much COD, there is a lot of intricacies to the game that could have an argument. You have to be attentive and pay attention to all the little minor details in COD. Who's off of streaks, who do we need to kill, who do we not need to die to, because if we die to this person, they're gonna be able to obtain things to make this game difficult. Specialists monitoring who, switching the flag, being that teammate, telling other teammates switch the flag. You don't do that too much in Halo. Switching classes, who's different roles. There's actually roles. There's people who like to play a SOG role, which is a submachine gun, versus AR, which is ICR. There's just different play styles and different roles. So there's an argument, and there's different game modes that just have completely different strategies. It's hard. It's hard argument, but I have to go with Halo because I just feel it takes more skill to shoot people longer. That's all.
That less lucky shots.
Yeah, I mean, like I people crouch around corners and they're prone on COD and they get free kills. I've always thought that was a noob way to play, but
there's no plasma swords in Call of Duty though.
No, there isn't. But there isn't any plasma swords. Well, yeah, there is in Halo 2 and in the competitive playlist for sure. But yeah.
What would you
Each
say
his own.
is your of all Halo of all time favorite weapon?
Battle rifle. I mean, it's the weapon that I started with, like in Halo 2 and Halo 3, like all the time. Like I feel like you can do the most with that gun.
What was the Arbiter gun that had the needles in it?
Oh, the Covenant. Yeah, the Needler.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my jam.
Because you didn't have to aim nearly as much. That's
Spray and pray all day and throw nades
Yeah.
at elevators. That's what it was all about.
The Needler for us was pretty useless weapon
trash?
most of the time.
That's why I was trash at Halo?
at a high level. I think
You
I don't know
Xbox kids.
if it was Halo 4, the Needler in Halo 4 was actually, it just melts. It would just melt you. It would shoot you for like half a second, you explode.
Were you an Xbox kid?
so no, not for the most part, but my first LAN party that I ever threw at my house was actually, no, I take that back. First one was Counter-Strike, like way back in the day.
The
First,
Counter-Strike LAN.
but like console one was definitely Halo 2 at the house.
man,
We had all
good
the
man.
CRTs like
Oh.
all around the house, anywhere you could fit a freaking TV. And those things are not like now where you can move a monitor like
Dude,
with
they
one
were
hand
huge.
and two, at a time. You're like struggling to move this 20-inch TV. Like, you couldn't even pick it up. So yeah, we did that. That was pretty awesome. The networking on, I don't even remember how we did that.
Yeah.
Like you had to like,
You just get a router and you just get Ethernets and you just
because it was all local,
it
right?
was all local area network. You didn't need internet to do it.
Oh yeah.
I just remember that 4-player split screen, but we had like a 20-inch monitor, so man, we were struggling.
Yeah.
Like,
and then you're
so close to the TV.
I used to play on stuff smaller than that though when I was playing GoldenEye on a 64.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
like a little like 8, like I don't know if it was a 9-inch TV or something like that. Like with the cassette, like you could put it had the built-in cassette player in there, and we would record our gameplay. Off of just off the little mini tube TV and record
old school VODs,
man.
Because me and my brother, we couldn't play on the weekdays. Our parents only let us play video games on the weekends, so we would even get in trouble watching our VODs during the week because my dad would say that's the same as playing video games. No,
come on!
Imagine
turn that off.
If watching YouTube was considered the same as playing a game now. I mean, it's like or Twitch, right?
Well,
that's what it is now.
It is because I do a lot of my playing not playing, if you get what I'm saying. Like I watch videos and strategies, like for instance if I'm playing League or something like that, like I learn a lot of information on how to not make certain mistakes, so I don't even go and make those mistakes because of all the information that's out there for me.
I mean, I don't make any mistakes in a lot of these games because I just don't play them.
That is true. Yeah, you know,
as long as I just keep watching it and never play it, I'm perfect record, 100%.
That's my new thing for more story driven games. Is I just don't have the time anymore. So even like the new Mortal Kombat, which I'm super into the lore.
The story is
awesome. Is fire.
It's awesome.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna play it.
They did so well with it, like correlating all of it in from the beginning, kind of like so like you're not playing this new one wondering what happened too much in the past, you know, like
it picks up.
They picked
right
it
where the
up,
last
and
one left
they
off,
did a great job. Another single player game that I really feel like you should invest time on is Sekiro. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Is that the samurai one?
Yes. Yeah, it's worth the money, and it's probably one of the best single player games I've played this year.
If you want to like get killed repeatedly and never get past probably the first couple.
Does it
bosses.
have like a Dark Souls feel?
It's like it's from the creators.
I had a feeling
Dark
because I
Souls,
saw like the rolling and
it has
dodging
a little,
and patience and
it has a little Tenchu inspiration from it as well.
I played that a lot as a kid.
Yeah. So there's stealth. You know, it has a great mix of things.
Right on.
Yeah, that's a good single player. Devil May Cry 5 even too.
Halo 2 though was probably the last Halo I ever played, and it was one of the first multiplayer shooters that I ever played.
A lot of people.
It went like GoldenEye. I think Turok. I played a little Turok.
No Perfect Dark.
I
didn't
dabbled in it. I think I rented it one time.
My heart.
I think I rented it, and I didn't even get to play because I was like you. I couldn't play on the weekend.
It's from the same developers as GoldenEye. Rare.
Yeah. But then it was straight up Halo 2, and
Good man.
Yeah.
Some good nights.
I had to say goodbye to Xbox after I had like 3 or 4 red rings, and I was like, done with this. I
forgot about
hate that
red
damn
rings.
console so much. Couldn't afford to like get a new one, so I have to get like a refurbished one that would get red ringed, and I would do that like 4 times, and you do all the stupid tricks.
With like
open it up,
towel,
hair dryer.
I resoldered. I did the thermal paste, like all those things. I was like, this is the stupidest thing. Why am I spending so much time, effort, and money to play this? Like, I just want to play these games, and then I lost so many save files because you can't just like quick swap the hard drives, and like if you can't get that system to boot back up again and transfer your data, then you're.
And the memory cards that they had back then didn't really have too much space on the memory cards too. But another trouble we had was we'd run into the problem of red rings, but we were buying Xboxes anyways because newer Xboxes had the possibility of us pulling host more. So yeah,
interesting.
So people would get new Xboxes.
That's the one that came with
Xbox
backwards compatibility too, right?
No,
that wasn't it.
This was prime time, 2008, 2009. Like 360 is out. There's, you know what I mean. Like people were buying newer ones, and they would get host on Halo 3, which would help obviously win more games.
Latency
like if you're playing on your host that you know is good enough for everybody, but obviously like. You just want to play on host.
I like was never skilled enough at the game to tell the difference personally. So
shocking, Justin Rojas.
Yeah, they had a whole bunch of methods to tell. Like people would bridge. People were cheating in all types of ways in Halo. Halo has been just the notorious game for people still cheat to this day in Halo. Like even now, they're still standby and they're still doing all crazy stuff.
Cheers.
So, question for the Call of Duty scene: when a Goliath dominant team finally gets their first L, what does that do for the scene? Does it change anything? What does it do to that team on top?
I mean, there's still a lot of Call of Duty left to be played. So, I mean, they can't really do anything but just go back to the lab and get better. Like, that's the only thing. You can't really focus on that tournament too much if it was a negative one at all. You know, there's no changes that can be made or need to be made, obviously. Then it's just going back and getting better. That's it. Like,
speaking of changes being made, I have not seen more volatile rosters in any game, like more volatile than Call of Duty, right? People are mixing and matching mid-season, right before finals, all kinds of crazy stuff. What is that like, and why do you think that's the case for Call of Duty?
Well, for me, still kind of after being a whole year into Call of Duty now, a little over a year, when I first got into it, a lot of it looked to me as though like Call of Duty has a lot of friends and close-knit groups.
Cliques?
Of friends that kind of look out for each other and, you know, and they want to team with their friends, and there's a whole bunch of different friends on different teams. So, you know, there's always a possibility for guys to feel like they can go team with these other guys if something's not working here and possibly have success over there, or just even sustain their pro career.
So they remain friends through the team swapping. There's no bad blood.
Yeah.
Jumping teams.
Generally, yeah. COD guys are really thick-skinned. You know, there's a lot of banter all the time. But these guys, whenever they get together at events or whatever, it's just like seeing their homies that they grew up with in the scene. We've been pros for years, and this is awesome because we get to be friends and be pros and, you know, whatever. You know, so they're cool. There's no bad blood with any of those guys.
Man, it's a really interesting dynamic to be able to see that, and with the way the tournament's structured, it's kind of weird to see because who you're teaming with one day literally could be who you're going against the next week. I mean, I've seen it, right? So if you had to take that kind of structure and apply it to any other esport like Overwatch League, like that, you can't do that. It doesn't work. Why does this still work? Is it because the team dynamics are different in COD? Like you don't have as specific of roles, or what?
The politics just sometimes are just too heavy. Like, and I mean, as I obviously we're moving forward into a newer realm for COD, so we'll see less and less of that moving forward, obviously, because you don't see it in Overwatch League. So there's going to be more teams based off of just skill rather than teammates. I want to team with this guy because I like his personality and I think he's good as well. It's, you know, it's not going to be that. I'm sure, you know, most likely more than not, you know, it's going to be.
What do you think that does to orgs when the players have the quote unquote power to do so? Like that makes it a different dynamic for being an organization.
It just changes the mentality off the rip for our players playing under us from Jump Street, because it's not worrying about this person's personality beforehand. It's dealing with them when they're already on the team, because obviously they're being recruited for their skill. You know, I don't know anything about this person besides he's a good player, and then developing with them, because I mean they generally have no choice at that point. You know, it's they have to work on their chemistry.
So last gen was teams of 4, correct? And this year now it's 5.
Yes,
with the new Call of Duty. Do you think having smaller teams, like maybe the flaws in the team or dynamic, are more noticeable versus a game that's 6-on-6 like Overwatch, where it's so team based, it's hard to tell. Like, yeah, it was a team effort. We
and you get
as a
subs.
team, we lose as a team, and you get subs. Versus having 4 people, and you can clearly see, okay, something's not. Somebody's throwing a wrench in what's going on, or just isn't the right fit. Maybe.
See, like I feel like you can see the same thing in 4v4 as you can 5v5 in terms of like an individual, but sometimes adding more people to the game, it saturates the map for sure. so the way that the map has to be designed has to be it from the ground up has to be specialized and designed for that style of play. For Black Ops 4, 5v5 seems to work relatively well from what I've seen. But with Overwatch and how many players that they have, it's different for COD because now they're thinking like my job is going to be on the line. You know what I mean? It creates this thing, this security thing, you know, that they've not been used to ever having to worry about.
I think the specialists add to that as well too, because you like Overwatch, you get a hero that you're really good at and you know how to utilize really well. And it's very rare that you have one person be able to play the whole hero pool, right? So I don't know how different that's been for these guys in COD because it's the first time it's really been a thing.
Yeah, the specialists do add certain, you know, aspect to the game to where certain players get those specialists faster than other players playing that same role just because of their play style or how good they are. You know, you look at like Huke, you know, like more so than not, like he's working on a second grav slam in any particular game when the other SOG player probably has only just gotten their first or already used their first, you know, stuff like that. So you will see
ult management is becoming
how fast these players are, you know, getting to those points, you know.
And kill to death means more in Call of Duty than it does in Overwatch, I'm assuming, because in Overwatch they say gold medals don't matter. And those are usually the kill stats.
Generally, stats do tell a story. It does, but I've seen a lot of games won with players just being in the right places at the right time and just playing the game the way you're supposed to be playing and making the big plays when you need to make
objective
them.
kills.
Kills.
You got streaks too, and that's a different thing than Overwatch, right? You don't just get streaks from kills.
Yeah, you get them from assists. You know, like hardpoint. You're in the hill. You know, whatever it may be. But I've seen teams, you know, get outslayed, but they got on sprees at certain points and earned streaks to win them the crucial parts of the game.
They got hot at the right time.
Yeah, and they got all the right, you know, important time.
Imagine in Overwatch if your kill streaks ended up getting you something else, like on top of just building ult percentage. Like if you had another burst of damage or something once you got to 10K, like that would change the game. Like
I'd be in the Overwatch League as a Bastion 1 trick. Calling it. No, no, but that would be an interesting change that I would actually like to see, to be honest. But then you have the flip side, which is Counter-Strike, which doesn't have anything like that. It's just pure shooting. Do you think that takes away? Do you think the streaks and the
they have eco management too? So
That's
playing,
true. That's very true.
You know, they're thinking about rounds that aren't even being played yet. You know, when they're in the current round. So it's just a different dynamic, different aspect, you know. But I mean, it all correlates in some way. It's just different skills, different games.
So I'm not that super familiar with Halo as an esport. Was there anything similar like that for any? Actually, I don't know. To be honest, I don't have any idea.
Something close to Halo.
That would like has a benefit for streaks or ults.
Halo 4 had an ordnance thing where you could, after you built up a certain amount of points, you got an ordnance and you could call in 3 different items from from the sky, and it would drop like a little ammo kit from the sky, and you could get it, and it would be like a sniper or a
little airdrops and things
or grenades.
My needler delivered.
Yeah, unfortunately I was not choosing it, but
Do you play Apex at all?
No, I don't. I watched some of my friends play it, but Apex does seem really close to Halo style combat in terms of just pure shooting and movement. And a lot of the Halo players like to play Apex. One of my former players and really good friends, Snipe Down, he plays a lot, and he plays with a controller. And he's able to play against PC players like nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
that game, I think Apex is one of the best things about that game is its intuitive like programming of how you can communicate and utilize the map and
the ping system.
The ping system, it gives so much information. Yeah, you can get so much information without saying a word.
And you can do that on a controller even too.
On a controller,
that's
yeah.
like nuts. That it's still really intuitive on a controller.
Yep. Yeah, the controls they're simplistic to a point to where it's not too much for a controller person to have to worry about their macro, like where you were playing Fortnite or something like that.
Inventory management. I played it on controller like just a little bit. I was at Nerdvana, like playing at the bar, and that's always the hardest part I have is like going through inventory and looting and like moving stuff around
in public while people are watching you. Don't you feel like you feel like a goon when you're just sitting there like trying to figure out buttons?
Somebody's next to you just minding their business, but low key they're watching and like, man, he's taking way too long.
Judging.
You know.
God, I wish this guy would get off so I can get on and dominate.
So we talked a lot about first-person shooters here, but that's not really what you spend the most of your time on. I feel like personally, right?
He's a Legaueaholic.
It's League. It's honestly League. I don't know why. It's if I'm not playing any of like those single-player games in my off time or Halo, it's probably League. I don't know. I just have a goal every season. Like I want to maintain diamond or even get better. There's just something about the game that it's fun. It gets my heart racing at certain points in the game when I'm having to take on a certain amount of people at the same time and, just get a kind of adrenaline boost from it.
Do you think that because you've been doing pro esports in like FPS games, you can have more fun with League because it's not what you've been doing professionally?
Yeah, no, I mean, I do agree with that statement for sure. When I play Halo, I feel like every time I'm on that game, if I'm streaming, people are after my head, trying to embarrass me, trying to, you know what I mean, just absolutely and utterly destroy me if I'm ever playing on my main account or something. It's not like a chill thing. I'm going into it, no one knows who I am, type of situation. And I'm not saying I'm just like this famous like Halo player or anything like that. It's just people do generally know of, some of the known, players or people who have been in the scene for a while. And, they're hungry. They just want to make a name for themselves. So sometimes I just want to chill.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to see that kind of mindset from different players. Like we've talked to Nifty about it, and Nifty literally doesn't play anything but CS.
Yeah, I mean, as he should. I mean, that's his game. I didn't play anything but Halo. Well, I was playing Final Fantasy. I was still a gamer, but I mainly played Halo. But he's got a disciplined mindset. If he feels as though he only needs to focus on CS, then in my opinion, his priorities are right where they need to be.
Do you follow LCS at all?
Oh yeah, I follow LCS. I follow LCE. Like MSI is going on right now. Like I follow a lot of League. I follow a lot of esports stuff. I follow Overwatch. I follow our games. I'm always watching a lot of like the major esports games for sure.
How much would you love to see us get back into the LCS? Would that just be? Would you just do a backflip in the office?
Man, if we did, I would do a backflip in the office. If we did, I would do more than a backflip in the office, obviously. But it would be dope. I would like to see that because we were in there for a little bit. We were in there for a little bit, and I had some enjoyment going to the studios and watching our team play.
I've been playing since season 3, off and on.
Yeah,
I think Gangplank was the first character that joined when I started playing. But yeah, like it's just weird that game has had the longevity that it
2009,
has,
right?
With the same map. Obviously, there's been difference with the jungle characters and stuff like that, and Baron buffs and stuff. But yeah, it's just weird that people are still running down those 3 lanes.
It's just crazy, like
years and years later.
As individuals invest so much of their time and their life and their financial into a game, they become really, really attached to it, and their personality is able to shine out through the characters, the skins that they've collected, their every little thing, their icons.
And there's so many characters, everybody's gonna find somebody that they like.
They'll find somebody
long enough, like you'll be like, oh, I really like this guy. This guy feels good. He feels right.
Yeah, and I'm like that too. I play characters that appeal to me based off of their abilities and skills and how they look, obviously. And,
who do you play?
It depends on what lane, but the main character that I'm playing right now is Ari. It's just I feel like she's
mid laner.
Yeah, she's pretty solid. Balanced mid laner champ that can control.
Not Diana, and you have the moon theme going on.
Yeah,
Elumnite, no Diana.
I did play some Diana way back in the day, but meta wise, since I'm not a Diana main, I probably am not playing her mid.
I played predominantly Garen. 100% Garen. I don't know what it is about games, but I picked the most basic character that everybody hates.
Garen
and I just
is
master
hated.
that character.
I don't know if it's the games or if it's you.
It's me,
Jay.
but what is it like? What does that mean in my brain? Like I pick a basic ass character, and
I don't like Garen, man. He's a
Nobody
good
likes
and bad
Garen.
champion. He just becomes unstoppable.
What does that mean
game.
as a pro manager? What does that mean when somebody just defaults to the easiest, most basic character, but still dominates, but is a one trick pony? What does that say to you?
It's all relative based on their skill, but like it.
Do I need to branch out? Do I need to?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Like
That's what I needed to
Yeah,
know.
for sure. Like one thing, like you play Bastion on Overwatch, right? That's
Yep.
yeah.
It's my love.
Me, I'm not hating, but
I like how you preface it with that.
but from my perspective, I feel as though you should become more versatile as an individual to be able to provide better opportunities to win for your team.
The team
Yeah, the
player.
team.
I need more like
think-
Huke is what you're saying.
Jay should be forced to play Reinhardt for like a month and nothing else.
If you
That would hurt my soul. I'm not gonna lie.
But you wouldn't have anybody in the champ select or the character select wondering why you're picking Bastion. You know what I mean? You won't get
I
flamed.
I'm not
want to
gonna
know.
get reported.
Yeah.
I want to know if you do that. Like if you would develop this different mindset, like this different perspective of the game, because you're like.
I'd have more respect, I'm sure, for people who don't auto lock DPS. Yeah,
Just like
there's probably something to that.
Only 10% of the Overwatch community. Jeez, God, I like playing tank, but I also have to play tank because no one's playing it.
It's just
main tank
weird.
specifically.
So Overwatch specifically, it's weird to not have a gun in a first person shooter. So I just feel so gimped, like I'm swinging my thing and they're just way in the back sniping me and shooting me, and my team's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And I'm just like going Bastion, and that's what happens usually. So I will try. What month do you want to do this? I'll lock it down.
Man, you know what? Not
we
a
can make
month.
this a
A
thing.
month's a long time. We
yeah,
probably need to do that.
baby steps.
Like
Maybe like
maybe
a
some
week.
days.
Like a
yeah,
week.
like a week would
Do like a
probably be
week
better.
of no. This is the thing.
This is character building.
This is the problem though. I can't have you doing that and hopping into comp also, because that's terrible for everybody else.
Yeah, you should get a few games under
I
your
gotta
belt
do
with
quick
normal.
play.
You gotta
Man.
do,
I haven't
like-
touched quick play since.
I
That's
know.
that's how I
98.
do. That's how I do when I practice new champs before I bring them into ranked and league. Like I'm not bringing a champion into a ranked game that I don't have at least 20 some odd games under plus. Like
And I
It's not
totally
gonna
understand
happen.
that playing quick play. I hate playing quick play because it's not like playing comp, because everyone's not taking
just-
the game seriously.
they're doing
It's
whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Picking whatever.
So
they
it's
wanna
like it's a hard thing to do. What we need to get you is like a really like low elo account. Somebody donate a wood account. I don't know if that exists. To Jay to just play Reinhardt and just work his way up.
What are we
on
gonna
top.
name it though? We got to name it something cool.
That's up to the fans to decide. You name it. We'll get the account. Someone level it up to 25, and then Jay
and I
do
will
his
play nothing but
placements.
Reinhardt on that account.
Yeah, I'm
Done.
down.
I'm in. Yep. Done deal.
All right, let's figure
It
it
is
out.
frustrating though, especially in League of Legends, when there's a new character that's just released, and you have somebody who's been playing, like you said, you play Ari. Ari's been out for what? Over almost a decade, probably now, something close to something like that.
Yeah,
You
close
were talking
to,
years
yeah.
and years of somebody like knowing how to play this character, and you're telling me somebody else is going to come in day one with this character, fresh out of ranked, and take this person on.
Some
Get
people
outta
have
here, man.
confidence. Some people, feel as though they want to play that champion against in the environment of a ranked environment because it may help them progress skill wise with that champion rather than playing in normals, knowing that you're not going to be in those same situations because you're going to be playing higher ranked people. You know what I mean?
You can also catch some people
it's an
slipping
argument
who
always.
don't like read the patch notes and don't really know what the character does.
Gotta
So you
do your
get
homework.
matched up,
Gotta do your homework.
versus a character even in Overwatch, and you don't really know what's going on, and this dude throws out something. You're like, what is that? What do I do?
That's the number one thing is like if you're gonna play ranked. See, I'm so serious with everything with how I do my ranked. I do my homework. I read the patch notes. I'm studying, what the pros are playing, and when I play, it's time to get serious. Like, I'm spending my time playing it. Like, I'm not going to mess around and just.
All right, so here's a question I have, and since you have played professionally, but you play other games more, quote unquote, like non-professionally, doing what the pros do doesn't always work in different elos, right? Because when the way the pros do it, everybody's playing at this high, like extremely high skill level.
Yeah.
So if you're in plat in Overwatch and you're like, oh, let's do what the pros are doing, you're like, no, because we literally can't do that. One of us might be able to, but as a team, we cannot.
Yeah.
Is that the same across the board?
I think so. Like, certain in higher elos, like the bans are different because the skill level at that high level is like people can play everything. So there's more particular bans at that level, whereas at the lower levels certain people just can't deal with certain champions that aren't banned as well. Like, it's you can't always emulate what the pros are doing, because mechanically they're better, and the way that they play, they're more teamwork oriented. At higher levels, especially in League, like mental stability is probably stronger as well. Lower elos, a person makes a mistake, and then everybody's like losing full. They're handing the other team a victory before the other team's even gotten the victory, because they're upset about one mistake they made, in the game.
They're in their own heads.
Yeah.
What is the longest game of League that you've played and lost?
Oh,
At least over an hour for sure.
yeah,
over an hour.
I'm pushing like an hour 30 probably.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I don't know, an hour and 30 for me, but at least over an hour, definitely.
and I think somebody was just so beast, but like one of their teammates left or something like that. So this dude's like 40-0, and one of their teammates left. So if we're just ganging up on this guy, he's killing 5 of us, and then we kill him, but the rest of his team is garbage because he didn't share kills. And so I just went back and forth for a long time. Yeah, hour plus for sure.
That's got to be some of the most tilting and frustrating experiences when you put that much time into one single game and lose for whatever reason it might be. If somebody messed up at the end, of course it's all that person's fault. Or if somebody was feeding and then they roll you, right? Because it's hard to catch up after that point, but you keep playing the game.
So if you go an hour and it comes down to the final battle and somebody just makes a mistake, I can live with that. I don't know about you, but like that's something that's never bothered me. If it was a good game all the way through and we just got beat right at the end, what I can't stand is a 45-minute game where somebody steals somebody else's buff and they decide to just quit the game. So you've been playing for 45 minutes and one of your teammates, it may have been an accident, they actually accidentally took one of your jungle buffs, just quits. He just either proceeds to run down the lane and feed, or sits in the spawn zone.
Yeah, then you have to chalk that up to communication then too. It's
nothing frustrates me more than that.
Yeah. The mental thing for ranked is probably one of the biggest things I see. People lose more games off of folks mentally checking out than actually losing in skill play. When you sit down to play ranked, you should be ready almost to accept the fact that you're not going to win all these games. Like when you lose a game, be ready to reset. And how are you going to gain elo if you just want to only play ranked and win?
So Jay, when you're playing on Overwatch, do you, in your solo queuing, do you use looking for group, or you just jump into like pure solo queue?
My thing lately has been I put on music and I just play. I just play for fun. I try to help the team.
But do you go into solo, or do you go into looking
all
for
ranked
group?
Or no, I do solo.
Okay.
Yeah, I never jump.
You never done, because you never want to fit a role. You never want to be.
Well, I feel like you win
role.
2 games and everybody's like happy and positive and communicating, and then you lose. And they're like, okay, we'll get that one back, we'll get them back. And then you always lose the second one as well. And then the team disbands. So that's been the kind of the
That sounds
pattern,
about right.
And it breaks even. And I guess that's kind of what the ranking system is designed to do, to keep you around 50-50. I would say that's the same even in League of Legends. They want it to be a crawl. They don't want you to just move up the ranks unless you're at that level and you're just able to carry. Yeah. I'm not that good.
Do you think the carry is more realistic in League of Legends or in Overwatch?
I'd say League. Primarily because with Overwatch, People need to hear things like when people are getting ready to synchronize like ults and stuff. Whereas League, you have that top side view. You can see body language. You can generally see what people are aiming to do, where they're moving. Whereas Overwatch is like, I need to hear what your plans are. What are we trying to set up? Are we waiting for each other? Are we, you know what I mean?
And that's a thing that's really important to me, as like right now I've been playing Rein a whole lot. And I'm in the front, and I literally can't see what anyone's doing behind me. So I'm just making assumptions based on audio and what callouts and things, that these things are happening, and that there is going to be a healer when I get low that's going to heal me. And then
so you can commit.
And I'm just like, well,
how much do you watch your life bar as a?
Oh, a lot.
Yeah,
tons. I have to. Like as a Rein, because when the shield goes up and the shield goes down, if you push, and you play that game of like, if you have a Zarya, you're just swapping like who's in front constantly, and hopefully with a good Zarya you're doing that, and then the healers are there to replenish you when the other one goes up. But I'm making a lot of assumptions and trusting my team, so when like I'm not getting communication from my team, it's really frustrating.
Yeah, but you're right, it's a lot of split decisions, where in League, like you see somebody running down to help you mid lane and it takes them a good 20 seconds to get there. So it's like, okay, this person is coming to help me coordinate, time it, see their positioning, see what they're trying to do, and then make the play happen.
So it's a little easier, I'd say, to probably carry games consistently in League. I'd say more so than Overwatch.
You a carry?
I am a carry, but I haven't been carrying the entire games like I've been wanting to. So
get it back.
I'm grinding.
We go again. We got some rapid fire questions for you, man, before we get out of here.
Cool.
You ready for these? So I'm going to give you like 5 seconds to answer roughly.
Oh, no.
No pressure.
Sheesh.
Best Halo of all time?
Halo 2.
No question. Worst character in League of Legends?
Teemo.
No, yeah. I'll stamp that one. Favorite CWL moment thus far?
CWL London so far.
Really? London? Any particular reason? I'll give you an extra 5 seconds.
Just because it's the best placing we've had this year, so it's a good thing to go off of.
It's a good one. What was my last one? Oh, would you name your kid after a video game character?
Yes.
What would the name be? You said you played Final Fantasy.
It'd be
a Final Fantasy name.
Cloud, probably.
You would name your son Cloud straight up.
Yeah, I'd probably name
him. Could be a daughter. I can see a daughter named Cloud.
Cloud's kind of pretty for her. But you're thinking.
Well, daughter, I would name Tifa, or Tifa would be fine.
She's a boxer. That girl's gonna be a boxer.
Possibly.
Straight up, you
little MMA.
Cloud. So I've always said Zell from Final Fantasy VIII. I don't know if you remember him. He had the face tattoo like Mike Tyson before Mike Tyson.
Because you want your kid to have a face tattoo like that?
I just always thought kids with Z's in their name was cool, and I don't know why.
Well, I use the X in my son's name, so but it's pronounced like a Z.
That's progressive.
Yeah.
Was it even a consideration? Did you have like Mario on the table?
No. It was weird naming a
Danky
kid.
Kang.
Naming a kid's actually kind of a weird thing to do when you think about it, because you're like stamping this on this person for their entire life. So my thought process was actually I wanted to name him his full name to be Alexander, because I like the name Alexander, but I don't like the name Alex. And I was like, if I name him Alexander, people are going to call him Alex.
Yep.
And so then I was just like, let's just cut off the first part of that, and he's just going to be Xander. And I like Xander.
Yeah, I mean, that flows.
And so
that's
they call him Lil Xan. That's a great rap name. Lil Xan.
There's a video game called Rising Xan on the PlayStation.
It's pronounced Sun.
Sun.
Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate you spending time with us. Plug your stream, man. We want to watch you play League of Legends.
Twitch.tv/Elumnite. I'm playing League, but I'm sometimes playing other games on there as well.
When do you stream?
Man, evenings, I want to say probably around 5 p.m. Central to various late times.
Good stuff.
Late times.
Yeah.
And the boys will be in
Pro League.
We'll be Ohio?
Yeah, we'll be in Ohio at May 26th for our first match. So 2 weeks out in Columbus. And then after that, CWL Anaheim, beginning of June.
That's right.
Same week as E3. It's going to be crazy.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We have some stuff going on as well. Justin, you want to tell them about the GameStop Overwatch League All-Star Watch Party, baby?
Yeah, we got that this week. Actually, it's going to be this Thursday. That is May the 16th. The Overwatch League All-Star game. We're going to do a watch party.
Who's coming?
GameStop's going to be there. And then we're bringing out Jane to do a live clinic.
My boy Jane.
So Jane, the assistant coach over at the Dallas Fuel, popular streamer, YouTuber, he'll actually be doing a live clinic before the Overwatch watch party. So what we're going to do is there's actually a gaming area at the esports stadium in Arlington. You're going to hop on those computers and he's going to be going around and kind of like coaching and giving you tips and stuff as you're playing.
So I need to hurry up and get this Reinhardt account. So,
yeah, get that now.
Let's get that going.
You guys can sign up for that. It is first come, first serve on a lot of this. So go to our Eventbrite link. You can find that on our Twitter. And then also if you go to the GameStop store in Arlington, 1081 North Collins Street, you could actually pick up a VIP wristband at that GameStop, and that'll give you VIP access to the watch party.
Ooh.
So do that this Thursday.
Yeah, come hang
6
out with us.
p.m.
That's going to be awesome.
Yep.
What else we got going? We talked about that. MV PUBG is in phase 2, and after 2 weeks, they are inside the top 10. Those boys they're eating right now. The boys will continue their climb in the rankings this weekend, so go cheer them on for sure.
Big congrats to Trill for moving up to the Dallas Fuel from the NV Contenders team. That's a big news.
Big news,
big deal. He'll be eligible to play pretty much now. We'll see him hopefully in stage 3 coming up here.
And his ping is going to be good.
Yeah.
The dude's playing from Australia, man. Killing it.
Still
Moving
killing
to LA,
it.
right? Do you think that helps or hurts? Maybe we talked about this. Can he predict the future because his ping was so high he could anticipate before the person even
So all
about.
of his shatters are going to be like a half a second early now?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a weird thing to think about.
Yeah. We have DreamHack Dallas. We're going to be there. Come visit our booth, play some games, meet your friends from the community. Definitely
be
come
around.
say
NV Overwatch is also without Trill, unfortunately, now getting ready for the Atlantic Showdown in Germany, representing NA West, which is really awesome. Guys have gone undefeated so far. Let's hope we can keep it that way.
Shout out them boys.
Yeah.
Yep. Join us on the NV Discord. That's going to be discord.gg/NV. We have the Queue Up channel where you can talk to other fans about the show, request future guests, and tell us what you think. Please leave us a comment below. Let us know what you thought of the show and share this with somebody who you think would enjoy it. Until next time, this has been Queue Up.